Hey, I just wanted to give a quick update on where Westron #1 fulfillment is, and it's sort of a good news, bad news situation. If you look here, all of the prints are in. Cover A, cover B, cover C, cover D, and the Azumu Special Edition. And from where you're sitting, I'm sure this looks great and fantastic and wonderful. However, it's not. It's all bad. None of these, not a single copy, is up to the standards that I'm willing to ship to you. And I can show you real quickly what's going on with that. It's a little hard though, because it's more about feel. If you're backing a comic on Kickstarter, either you are a comic book lover or you are someone who loves someone on the creative team very much and wants to support us even though you don't like comics. And that's great. But for those of you who are into comics, you know what a comic book feels like. Do you hear this? That's not what a comic should sound like. And yeah, I mean, it's a nice thick cover, but basically these all have like a weird waxy texture to them. You can feel the ink. Actually, see this ribbing on the back of the Doyle Academy logo? Listen to this. Do you hear that? I shouldn't be able to use a comic book for a washboard. There's also printing issues on the inside. Weird artifacts that shouldn't have printed are printed. The pages are too dark despite painstakingly going through and tweaking and adjusting the CMYK values and the saturation levels per the printer's specified directions. And basically what has happened is, because the printer doesn't offer physical proofs so that you can see what your final output will look like, before even running the campaign, I did 3 different test prints with that, well, 2 with that printer and 1 with another, and I'll talk about that. First, I will say, I spent an average of $100 each on these test prints, and these are nice. The insides look nice. The weird artifacts are not there. The darkness is still a little dark, but that's before I made all those adjustments to make it better. These are just as dark as the pre-adjustment ones, which doesn't make any sense. So this is 2 different runs from the same printer that I'm perfectly happy with. These feel like comic books. These I would be happy to ship to you if I could, but I only ordered 10 of each. So I didn't go in blind. I didn't not understand what the process was. I did my due diligence. I spent hundreds of dollars to make sure I knew what we were going to be getting from this printer. And I did get quotes from probably 24 printers. I tried as many local places as I could because I love to support my local economy. And what it came down to was more than price. I ordered from this company because, having done these test prints, I knew what to expect from the quality. That was my #1 deciding factor. Was I know what they make. I know what their quality is like. This is what we can expect. All good. And then they send me this. So this is one that I had done at a local printer. They did a one-off copy for me so I could see what their capabilities were. And listen to this. familiar? Well, I saw the machine that printed this. They pointed to it in the room. They said, oh yeah, this was done on that machine there. And it was a machine larger and more impressive than anything that I have to print, better than anything at my office at work, but not that much so. It's about the size of a desk, maybe. Not the kind of thing that you would expect for professional comic book printing. And to be sure, this company is a professional comic book printer. That's their whole deal, is they're known for comic books. And somehow they deliver these things that feel like they were done at a Staples or an Office Max or something like that, or like just a cheap corner print shop. Not something that you would be willing to publish. These other test prints I got from them, these feel like something that you could pick up at the comic shop. If I put this on a shelf at a comic book store, you would pick it up and not think anything of it. These and this, however, have the same exact issues. That's how I know these were printed on a cheaper machine. Something low rent that's not right. And they feel like this. Except this is in a lot of ways better, because if you can see how nicely tightly bound that is what you expect from a comic book. Not, let's just grab one at random. Not this. I can see the camera through this. And they're all like that. There's just not, they're not bound properly. They're not printed properly. These are frankly absolute garbage. And I am talking to the printer. If they can expedite them on a reprint, do a reprint on the proper machines and really expedite them, then I'm going to have them do that. But at this point, I'm really leaning more toward getting a refund and sending them elsewhere to print. So that's going to be 2, 3, maybe 4 weeks delay on fulfilling these for you. But I absolutely can't send you these. They're so bad.